by Yasharala for the Lions in the Yasharala camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kyle Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakak Kodash Mama. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, the sincerity, and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 1. It says, Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. All right. And this lesson is a lesson inspired off of Lions Den, hopefully let Athanya Allah, one of the brothers in the camp. He did a beautiful lesson talking about, none of these individuals that are out here being man pleasers and not being charitable to the flock. Yeah, you got some that go out there and teach, but they teach for filthy lucre's sake. They teach for status, but they're not teaching in the form of being charitable or charity, like brotherly. They're doing it to be look well in the sight of other men. They don't care about the younger brothers that's coming up, watching, looking for inspirations coming up in this truth. They don't care about that. The only thing they care about is their status in the truth. And I just want to land back off the brother. And, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and serves its purpose for the edifying of the church and the inspiration to the hopefully elect out there in Israel. All right. So with that being said, I want to get into it, and I hope it's edifying. So back in 1 Corinthians 8:1, it says, Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. All right, now going into that word charity real quick. All right, charity is Strong's 2G26. Let's see what it says. It says charity, love, i.e., affection or benevolence. That's a hard word for me to say. Especially plural, a love feast, brotherly love, affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, love feast. So basically, all right, not only are you going out here on the highways and byways, teaching and fishing for the elect, but you're inspiring the younger brothers. You're helping the younger brothers, helping build them up in this truth, and it's crazy because it's nothing to be charitable. Charitable, like the scripture that he brought out, charity ripeth away a multitude of sins. So your number one thing besides faith in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is to be charitable towards the flock, meaning being having love and affection towards the flock, meaning you're helping inspire the younger brothers that might be, feel a little insecure in this truth. Because I felt insecure in this truth, and the elder Harold Wan helped me along the way. All the brothers helped me along the way, But before we were established as a major camp, we only, it was him, and then I came along, and the other brothers came along, and it was just, and that's how we built the camp up through your spirit of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai built this camp, but it was done through charity, man. I remember, quick testimony. I was out there teaching, and I was breaking the scripture down, breaking the breakdown kind of wrong, and the elder, like, he didn't try to make me feel stupid, or he didn't, like, what I'm saying, yo, you're going off, stop. What he kindly did, he kindly intervened into the situation and corrected me. But if you're on the outside looking in, I knew I was wrong by the way he corrected me, but if you were on the outside looking in, you wouldn't be able to tell that he kind of straightened me on that scripture. And that's a beautiful thing, because I've seen it on camera where people will, really come at and try to belittle somebody in this truth. And that's not the way to be. You got to understand it's people's souls that you're dealing with, their consciousness that you're dealing with, So sometimes you have to be temperate, and sometimes you have to be aggressive in certain situations. That's if a person is not listening. But a lot of times when somebody's sincere in this truth, they're very easy to talk to when they're being very sincere. So like charity is a wonderful thing to have, man, and being brotherly. Because what does being brotherly do? It builds other brothers. It creates a foundation. Now you can have all the knowledge and everything in the world, but if you don't have charity, you don't have anything. All right. So going back to All right. So if you don't have charity, you don't have anything, man. Because knowledge puffeth up. Knowledge will make you be prideful, but charity is what's edifying. And charity is what builds what builds the flock, what builds the foundation of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. There were plenty of times where Peter didn't understand the parables that Yahweh Shai was talking to him, but Yahweh Shai sat down with Peter and broke it down to him. All right. And it was charity, like the scripture said, charity wipeth away a multitude of sins, man. All right. So verse 2, it says, and if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing as yet he ought to know. But if any man love Yahweh, the same is known of him. All right. So boom, that's just it. The same is known of him. Okay. So if you're a lover of Yahweh, that's gonna show within you by you being charitable to the flock, man. By you being brotherly to your brother next to you, by you being brotherly to somebody you've never met before that comes on your comment board and leaves a message wanting to be edified, and you taking time out to answer that person's questions like the brother Athanyala did in his video. His video was really basically a response to a comment made on the comment board. And what was he doing? Trying to build. That was being charitable. That was being brotherly. That was giving somebody hope. That's what is faith is the evidence of things hope for. This the matter of fact, I get it. I ain't gonna paraphrase that one. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. It's Hebrews, I think 11:1. I could be mistaken. All right, this is Hebrews 11:1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Right. So the evidence of things not seen. So we see Yahweh Shem Yahushai through these scriptures. And when somebody has a question through these scriptures about these scriptures, and you take time to break it down to them and be charitable, what does that do? That creates hope. That creates hope in the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai by giving somebody the understanding. That's what wipeth away a multitude of sins. That's what true charity is. That's what charity, like, being an elder and helping the younger brothers in the flock become up and coming elders as you are. That's what charity is. And that's what our camp is established and based upon. All right, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's how Yahweh Shai was when he walked the earth. That's why when they brought, they caught a woman in adultery, in the act of adultery, he wasn't ready to tear her down. What he was ready to do, he was ready to build her up. That was charity right there. And that's what we have to have. That's what we have to have. That's showing that you have the mind and the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. Going back to 1 Corinthians 8 and all right, 8 and 7. It says, "Howbeit there is not slacking." It says, "Howbeit there is not in every man the knowledge, for some with conscience of the idol until to this hour slacking unto this hour eat it as the things offered unto an idol, for their conscience be weak and be defiled. But meat cometh us not to Yahweh, for neither if we eat are we better than neither if we eat not." Slacky, I had to take that call. All right, so back at 1 Corinthians 8 and 7 says, all right, now this is going in to Paul was talking about things being offered unto idols. Matter of fact, let me go back up to 4. All right, now it says, this is 1 Corinthians 8 and 4. It says, "As concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered unto idols, we know that idols is nothing in this world, and that there is none other than Yahweh, but another God but Yahweh, one." It says, for though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many, but to us there is but one power, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, Yahweh Shai, by whom all things are created, are all things, and we by him. All right, so basically, Paul was talking about people eating things that are offered unto idols, and Paul's going to go into, if it be cool with you, go ahead and eat it. You know what I'm saying? You just pray over it, as long as it's not lawful to eat. But if you're in front of a brother that's conflicted by it, it's probably better not to eat it. That's being charitable because you're thinking about that brother's conscience and you don't want him to be conflicted. So sometimes we take the back seat or take a different approach to certain things because it might be good on our conscience, but it might be bad on somebody else's. All right. It says, verse 7, it says, howbeit there is not in every man the knowledge, for some with conscience of the idols unto, like, for some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled. So now they eat something offered to an idol, now they're feeling guilty. All right. It says, but meat cometh us not to Yahweh, for neither if we eat are we better, neither if we eat not are we worse. Are we the better, or have we the more? But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. All right, so Paul was basically saying through charity, like if you see somebody that's with you and they're conflicted by eating unto these idols, eating for something that's sacrificed unto idols, whether it's lawful or not, and it vexes their conscience, it's better for that brother for you not to eat it because you're going to, you know what I'm saying, cause them to be even more confused and vexed. All right, verse 9, it said, but take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. And that's the point. It says, for if any man see thee without his knowledge sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to idols? I want to know what that word emboldened means, if I said it right. All right, to be a house builder or construct or confirm, to build a house. Okay. All right, so basically, where's it at? All right. All right, so basically, hindering them from help edifying and building because because you were eating of something that was offered unto idols can cause confliction of them being in this truth. All right, verse 11, it says, and though thy knowledge shall the weak brother, and through thy knowledge the weak brother perish, for whom Yahweh died. But when ye sin so against the brethren, and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Yahweh. Wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend. Right. So certain things we do, like say for instance, let's use this. If you have a brother that has a problem with drinking, it's not unlawful for us to sip, but if you maybe had a brother that had a problem with sipping and it was hindering him in the truth, I wouldn't sip in front of that brother because it caused offense unto him. Even though it's lawful to sip, even though you have knowledge in this truth, it's lawful to sip. But it might, I'd rather not do it in front of that brother because it might cause confliction in his conscience. And we're here to build, we're here to tear down some and build the rest, But you can tear down stuff, and sometimes it's bad to tear down in certain instances. All right. Our next scripture I want to get is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and 1. It says, all right, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. All right, so basically, if you have all this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you might be going out there doing the work. All right, but if you're doing it as a man pleaser, you just sound like another instrument of, there's nothing, so where's the charity in that? It says, and I am become as a sounding brass and a tingling cymbal, and though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. So if you're out there, if you just want to go out there and yell at people and cuss people out, because you know the scriptures, then you're not doing it for the will of the Lord. You're doing it to be a man pleaser. You're doing it for the sight of men. You're not doing it according to the Spirit, because there's no charity in that. There's no edifying in that. There's no brotherly love in that. You know, you just want to you just want to yell and cuss people out and feel like some sense of empowerment. But Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is our power. We feel a sense of empowerment through the scriptures, yeah. But we're going to feel an ultimate sense of empowerment when he shows up to crown the ones that are rightfully his. That's where you get your empowerment, through the glory of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, not through the glory of men. All right? And it says, though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Because you have people that are out there that'll, yeah, we'll teach in the rain. I don't care. We'll teach in the lightning. We'll do this. They'll have people out there that's being overly righteous, and they think that's done in the sincerity and truth. Nah, that's man pleasing. That's not charity. All right. You have certain people out there doing the work that's not being charitable, and that's just it. Verse 4, it said, charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself and is not puffed up. All right, so you're not going to be puffed up if you're charitable, man. You're just going to have the will to edify and teach and build those up that are torn down. You know, charity is an intense thing, man. Charity shows your real love towards Yahweh by Shem Yahushai and the fold. All right, doeth not behave itself as unesteemly. Seeketh not her own, it is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Right. So once you have the truth, it's gonna be charity that puts it in your mind to want to help build, for the perfecting of the saints. And I'm gonna get into that too. All right. Verse 7, it says, beareth all things, believeth all things, hope all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth. But whether there be prophecy, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. All right. You have these other individuals that teach false doctrine, all that, or they go out there apt to teach, but they're not doing it in sincerity and truth, and they don't have the right doctrine, and all that's going to vanish away. All right. It says, for we know in part and we prophesy in part. All right. But when that which is perfect is come, when Yahweh Shai shows up, then that which is in part shall be done away. So, right. So all this, even the ones that do it in sincerity and truth, all that, us going out and teaching, all that's going to be done away with when Yahweh Shem Yahushai shows up, because, it says a man shall not have to teach his neighbor anymore. All right. So within that, we are to be charitable to the next brother, bearing each other's burdens. Yeah, the scripture does say work out your own salvation through fear and trembling, but the foundation of working out that your own salvation is through charity, because who started the whole gift of charity was Yahweh Shai. And for him laying down, what does it say? Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. That was the ultimate form of charity that Yahweh Shai did for us, man. So he started the form of charity, and we're supposed to live on through that. All right. Verse 11, it says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even also I am. And now abideth faith, hope, charity. These three, but the greatest of these is charity. Right. So even no matter how much knowledge and understanding you get, it's all according to charity, man. How much are you how much are you willing to deal with the flock? Are you thinking about the conscience of your brothers when you do certain things? Are you thinking about how it may affect them when you do certain things? All right. This, I'm gonna close it out with this. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1, it says, I therefore, the prisoner of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. All right. So we are called to do this work. Many are called, but few are chosen. Although, and I guarantee the ones that are going to be chosen, aside from the ones that are called, are the ones that are going to be like walk after charity in that likeness of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Verse 2, it says, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, bearing one another in love, and that's charity, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace, all right, towards one another, and that's the point. There is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called on one hope of your calling, right? So if I'm the toe and the next brother is the whole leg, and and I'm weak, me being the toe, if a brother's like cut the toe off, that's not being charitable. Why not build up the toe, help me to become stronger? That way we can all stand together. And that's what being charitable is. You might have the knowledge, but if you're not brotherly in doing it in charity and sincerity and in truth, then you are nothing. Verse 4, it says, there is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called into one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power and Father, Yahweh, of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all, the charitable ones. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahweh Shai. So how much faith, how much of the Spirit of Yahweh Shai was granted upon you, right? And that's how much you display to the next brother, because it's all about building up the elect. Not like you could be tearing the brother down, treating the brother like shit, and he part of the elect. And now what are you doing to the body? Now you got to answer to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua because of that. All right. Verse 7. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahweh Shai. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gift unto men. All right. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descend first unto the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai. And that's what the Spirit was placed down for. And that's why we're to build each other up, bearing each other's burden, and giving charity, man. Charity wipeth away a multitude of sins. Verse 13, it says, I will, till we all come to the unity of the faith. Right. So just because somebody might have less faith than you, the goal is to help build their faith up, not take it away or not make them feel inferior because they don't have as much faith as you have, or they don't have as much knowledge as you have. That's your opportunity to be charitable and lift them up. All right. Help lift them up, help preserve them for the truth. Verse 13, it said, till we all come to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, unto a perfect man, being mended together through charity and faith, man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahweh Shai, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. Now, charity is a thing that could be good and could be bad. So now just think about it. The ones having the truth, right? If you're not brotherly to an individual and somebody comes along teaching falsehood and lies, but they're being brotherly, they're going to cling more to the falsehood and lies. Some would use that terminology loosely. Some may flock to lies because I see all day. You know, that's how they are with the women in their congregation. That's why the women stick to them like that. That's why some of the individuals stick to them like that, because of that charitable aura that they have, but they're teaching them falsehood. Just imagine the ones teaching the truth had that same type of mentality, being charitable, building up. They want to build communities physically. We're supposed to build communities spiritually through the Spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Charity does that. Verse 15. Verse 14, it says, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness. Shalak, you gotta answer this. All right, Shalakia, let me go to Ephesians 4:6. It says, one power and Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahweh Shai. Right. And so with the measure of grace or measure of the spirit that's within us, what do? We help other brothers out, and build them up as we're being built up through the spirit. Everybody has their own gift and use it accordingly to help each other out because we're all one body. Verse 7, it says, but unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahweh Shai. Wherefore he said, he when he ascended upon high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Now he that ascended, what is it but that he also descended first unto the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above the heavens, that he might fill all things. Right. And we continue in that process through the gifts that was given us through the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Verse 11, it says that he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai, till we all come into the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahweh Shai. And that's done with charity and edifying. With that being said, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.